I'm recording down here because I'm like feeling awkward, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna record. So I'm just gonna go and give it a shot and see what happens. I'll let you guys know. I'll fill you in after everything and just kind of give you a little lowdown. So stay tuned. I'm getting ready to go to my first ever speed dating event. I'm nervous. Have been like, oh, I'm not gonna go about 5 times now. I am gonna go. I have about 15 minutes to get my makeup on. I hate putting on makeup in the summertime because I always sweat it off. So the only good thing is that I think it's inside. It is inside. So at least I won't have to like sweat too badly. Although I think I also just sweat because I get nervous. So I'm hoping I'll be able to like figure it out. It's a very simple look. This is the top. It's like a little, I can show you better when I take a picture later, but it's like a little tie in the back. I'm wearing some white jeans. So we're gonna just do something different and try. But before we do that, I do have to get ready. So I already kind of started my facial stuff. I love to use Urban RX. They have this really cool like kit at Target where it's like kind of just for hyperpigmentation, which I have, you know, on my face, under my eyes sometimes. So I'm using this. They always have this really cool, like it's this amazing sunscreen and I love using it. So this is like a game changer. I like the way it smells. I like the way it feels on my face. And there's like an even tone serum that I like to use as well. I love this brand because it's specifically designed by people who have melanin in their skin, for people who have melanin in their skin. So it's definitely, you know, it works. I've noticed like definitely improvements in my skin when I use it. And I haven't used it recently, but I'm gonna try and get it to get back on track. And today I was kind of just like indifferent about this whole thing. Maybe a little bit, like not so much excited as curious because I've never done anything like this before. I'm curious to see how it goes. I'm nervous because I wanted to do my hair differently. I wanted to take my like little twists out, but like I just didn't end up like doing it in time. And also I'm traveling this week, so I don't know if I wanted to take them out just yet or when I went to my family party that we're going to. It's whatever. Oh, and this is also something I love. So it's funny because all of these things I've tried in sample size, like even the Urban Skin RX. And this is something I had like in a sample size, and it's called it's the e.l.f. Skin Whoa Glow, and I have this in Sunbeam because that's closest to my skin shade. But it's really like just kind of like a makeup primer, but I love when I was using it how it like kind of just melt onto my skin. And if you look here, you can kind of see what that like looks like. Let's see if I can. So yeah, it's like just like a primer. So I'm gonna put some like under my eyes. As you can see, it's very light. I also definitely tanned this summer, but I like just blend in and kind of just evens everything out, which is nice. So, and it's very, very subtle, which I like. And it's light. I like to use my Lancome foundation. I just love the way it goes on. It's very light and smooth. I'm not gonna put a ton on because I'm already sweating and I just don't want to like accidentally like wipe it on something. And I'm wearing white jeans, so it would just be a recipe for disaster. Okay, so base of my face is done. Going to do a little bit of my Lancome mascara. Don't say anything about my eyebrows, I already know. They are a work in progress. Alexa, what's the time? So I gotta leave like, no. The place we're going to is supposed to be like an adult arcade. Which is kind of perfect. Like, I mean, honestly, like, even though I really didn't, like, part of me is talking myself out again, but I love that kind of stuff. So I think it's like kind of the perfect place to meet people. I'm just gonna like try not to second guess myself and just go and have a good time. A little nerve-wracking, but it's okay. I'm doing a little bit of the Disney bounding, even though nobody else is gonna get it. A little bit of Little Mermaid. I did like a little neutral lip. It's just like a plain, it's Wet n Wild. I got this also. So sometimes the Target near me gives me like out free samples. So trying this out. This is the look really, like that's it. I'm going to get my necklace on and then head out because I don't want to be too late. I will see you there. I'm recording down here because I'm like feeling awkward, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna record. So I'm going. I see some other people kind of dressed up and looking cute, so I think they're probably going too. So I'm just gonna go and give it a shot and see what happens. I'll let you guys know. I'll fill you in after everything and just kind of give you a little lowdown. So stay tuned. Okay, I just got back from speed dating. Okay, I like to debrief with myself, which sounds, I like to debrief with myself in the car, but I was like, I want to save my debrief for YouTube and start to just kind of like talk about how it went. Yeah, so leading up to it today, like I didn't have a lot of nerves. I was okay, but kind of like started to get a little bit nervous. Let me see if I can change the lighting a little. Okay. Figured out, did a little bit of lighting change. It was a little intense. I got there on time because they said, you know, you can get there up until 45 minutes, you know, after the start time, but I didn't really know what to expect, so I wanted to make sure I was there on time. And it started at 7 and ended at 9. The way that they do the mixer is that, so they split it up into 2 sections. So I want to say it's like ages 35 to 45 or like at 5 to 7, and then I want to say 25 to 35 are at like 7 to 9. And I fall in that second category, so I went for 7 to 9, and I, you know, wore my little outfit like I showed you guys. I didn't show you the whole fit. I don't even have like a video of the whole fit because I was just like kind of rushing and kind of like, I can't do all of this, and then, you know, kind of like build it up in my mind so I could go. We were at Slingshot Social. I think that's what it's called, Slingshot. Basically, you just go and you sign in. They give you the wristband, which I'm actually gonna take off because I don't need that anymore. You go in, you sign in, you have your ticket. Tickets were like $20 to just get in. And then it was like this like kind of arcade-ish place. So they had games, they had like skee ball and Mario Kart and just other things like that. So it was a chill vibe, like a cool spot. And then it was like they had like some lounge areas. There was like a lounge area when you walk into the space. They sectioned off a part of the venue for the jigsaw mixer. So I got there, and to be honest, I really didn't know what to expect. On my way in, I just kind of said a little prayer and I was like, God, I don't know what to expect because I have been single for so long and have gone through this cycle of praying that I'll meet someone and hoping that I'll meet someone at an event and it just being organic. And it just didn't happen. And so I just went in and I was like, I don't have any expectations. I just want to go and every time I go into a space that I just don't feel super comfortable or like I feel a little apprehensive, I just pray. I'm like, God, would you just help me to find the good people? And that's such a general term, good, but what I mean is just people who like don't make you feel othered or outside, like an outsider. So I just prayed to like be able to like find those people, but also that they would find me. Also just like I was just kind of like, I don't know what to expect, and I don't want to have any expectations because I just don't know what I'm gonna go into. Part of me was like, I feel like I'm gonna be like one of 30 girls and there's gonna be like 5 guys, you know, because I'm looking for a man. So they did have, it was if you're looking for a woman, a man, or other, a little bit of just diversity, I guess, when it came to what people were looking for. And yeah, so it was a really interesting event. I would say like it was not as structured as I was hoping. Like I was hoping it would be like more like what you see on TV, where you like are in like, you know, you're at a table, a long table, and then like, you know, one of either the guys or the girls or whoever kind of switch off. But at the same time, thinking back now, I'm like, it wouldn't be like, especially since it wasn't just a homogenous group. Like it was, you know, there were women looking for women, there were men looking for men, and, you know, there were non-binary folks looking for, you know, what they were looking for, and so, or who they were looking for. So I guess it wouldn't have been as inclusive as if it was that way. So I'm kind of glad it wasn't that way. I think as an introvert and homebody, it was a little overwhelming. I did meet a couple of really amazing ladies. And that was just like fun. Like on their website, they say, you know, even if you don't meet your person, like just have fun and mix and mingle and meet like maybe a new friend. And I really do feel like it was just nice because a lot of the women that I met, like all of them actually, except for like one group of girls who knew each other, everybody had come on their own, and we all had very similar stories. Like all of our friends are in relationships, or all of our friends are married, or, you know, all of those things. So it was nice because it didn't feel like I was as alone as I feel sometimes. I was so surprised that there were like a lot of men there. It was definitely women heavy, but it was also like you had opportunities to meet like men if you were looking for that. You go in, they give you bingo cards, and then basically you just go around and you ask people if they like, you know, tick off this box. Like one of them was like, has never been to Disney before. And I was like, can't say that one. But there were like things like that, or has never watched Star Wars, or has taken a solo trip, things like that, which was cool because you got to know people in a really organic way that didn't feel forced, and it struck up conversations, which is the whole point of it. So I definitely think that they did that right. It was a pretty loud venue, so I didn't love that because it was hard. Like I definitely had to, it felt like, you know, when you're at the club, not that I've been to a club in forever, but the music was loud enough where I had to be like, what? A couple times to some of the people that I was talking to. And so that was a little kind of a bummer because it was like, I don't know, it just was like missed opportunities, I feel like, because it was like loud and it was pretty crowded. We were in that lounge area, and it was kind of a small section because the actual venue was open to like the public still. It was just like we had like a section for the mixer, and it was kind of small. And I said that to one of the ladies I met, and she was like, yeah, but you know, it's kind of good because otherwise if it was too big, like we probably wouldn't be like mixing and mingling, which I definitely, yeah, that's very true. It was also really hot though. So we were all just like fanning ourselves. It was just like very warm. I guess the interesting part that maybe you all are interested in learning is, did I meet anybody? Did I like talk to anybody? Do I feel like I made any connections with any men? And I will say yes. I spoke to, I think it was like maybe 4 guys. It was interesting. Like the first guy I talked to, he was like this really tall guy. He was really cute. He actually was, it was cool because he was saying like, oh yeah, I'm like from Nigeria by way of like Germany and another country. And I was just like, what? And he was just telling me about, you know, how he just came over here maybe 10 years ago to the States, and he spoke German fluently, and it was just cool. I was like, oh my gosh, what? And you know, I shared a little bit about me being from California. You know, when people just kind of like they're like, okay, I'm kind of done with the conversation, I just don't know how to end it. He kind of gave me those vibes. So I, being the person that I am, I guess an empath, and pretty intuitive, I was like, okay, well, it was so good to meet you, and like I hope you have a good rest of your night, and maybe I'll see you around. And because he didn't seem like he was like interested in continuing the conversation, and like it was kind of a bummer because like I thought he was cute and interesting, and I definitely would have like liked to talk with him more, but I don't stay where I'm not wanted, so we have too much value for that. There was another guy I spoke to very briefly, and it was just interesting because it was like you're in this like physical place, And rejection is real and it happens. And it's just like I don't put myself in those situations normally. So like, it's not like it was like, oh no, I don't want you. It was more just like subtle cues of like, yeah, I don't think I'm interested or this isn't gonna go anywhere. Two guys that kind of stick out to me with that sort of interaction, like kind of gave me those vibes like, oh, okay, like you're nice, but I'm looking for, something else, or I'm not really interested. So I took those cues and I just was like, okay, so good to meet you, and made my way, around. It was good though, because I don't get rejected. Not because I'm like I am a hot commodity, but not because I'm like, oh, like this hot shot that everyone's trying to get at, but I just don't put myself in those situations. So to be in that situation and not be like crushed and have like my traumatic experiences from like middle school come out was actually pretty cool. There's a fine balance, because if you go by yourself, there is like this feeling of like, oh my gosh, like this is so scary. You see all the women flock together, all the men flock together. And then like I found myself being surrounded by like maybe like 4 other women, and we were just talking. It was great. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I am here to meet friends and do that, but I'm also here to put myself out of my comfort zone and also try something new. And so I found myself like, after a little bit of conversation with like the women around me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like walk around and just kind of, because it's hard to approach other people when you're surrounded by other, like I would imagine it would be hard. Like I wouldn't ever go up to just a group of men and just start flirting with one person, or like, it's just hard. So I just tried to make myself like available and just kind of walked around and just like had my little drink and just sipped and just kind of like people watched. And eventually I found this guy who was sitting by himself, and I was just like, I'll just, sit and chat and everything. And we chatted for a while. And he was just like so nice. And he like was just telling me about kind of like his life, and I was sharing a little bit about my life, and like it was just a really easy conversation, which is like that's always a good sign. So we like chatted, and then at one point like I had to go and get some water because it was so hot, and I had just like had like my drink, so I'm like, I want some water. And he like went up to use the restroom and everything, and he was like, oh yeah, but I'll be back. And I was like, yeah, me too. And I was like, oh, this is cool, like we made a connection, like that's what it's all about, meeting people that you wouldn't otherwise like meet in any other circumstance, Also like the place that we were at was like an arcade, like had like games and stuff. Everybody like after 9, nobody under 21 could be there, which was cool. And so around like maybe 8:45, like me and the gentleman that I met, we like were like, oh yeah, like we should play some games, like should we like play some games and whatever. And like I'm a huge I love games. I'm a giant kid, so I'm like, yeah, let's do it. We played Guitar Hero. Have not played that in a while. I sucked, but also my controller wasn't working, so it wasn't like really a fair shot, but he was good at it. And then we ended on Mario Kart, because I was like, oh, I love Mario Kart, and he was like, I like Mario Kart too. So we like played Mario Kart, and at the end of the night we did exchange numbers. It was a great experience. I would definitely do it again. I'm also just proud because I feel like this is something I talk to my therapist about a lot. Like, oh yeah, I want to do a speed dating thing, or try that. Or she would suggest it, because I'd be like, I don't know how to meet guys. Like, online dating sucks, like all that stuff. And I just never took the initiative because I just wasn't ready. And I'm just really proud that I did it, and I want to do it again. I feel like it just speaks to like the healing process, and how I feel like I've been healing for a while. And I'm continuing to heal, and it just feels good to be able to do, the things that I only could ever dream about. Yeah, I'm excited for the person I'm becoming, and I'm excited to be more social and to make more like new friends and doing like new things. All in all, it was a really cool experience. Definitely recommend it. It's called Jigsaw Dating. They have like an app. And you can pay like monthly, like $20, and and they're in a ton of cities. So even if you're not in Atlanta, you can always do something like, I think they have them in Chicago, they have them in Houston, like all those things. How would I rate it? I'd probably rate it like maybe an 8 out of 10, like 8.25. I almost want to give it a half, like 8.5, but I'm going to do 8.25 out of 10. Like, I think the intention is there in terms of like what it's trying to get you to do. I think it could be structured a bit more, and also they could have chosen a better venue. But yeah, that was my experience, and this is just the beginning, as they say. So thanks for coming along with me, and I just hope that this is something, if you're interested in speed dating, that this will encourage you to try it. I don't know how many more vlogs about dating I want to do. I don't know if I'm even going to be dating, but hopefully you'll be along for the ride. So if you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that. Leave a comment, or if you have any questions about my experience, leave one of those too, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.